Coming at you from Scratchable Studio, it's that time again to rage across the internet, your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Porter.
I'm Daniel Tyson.
I'm Tommy Dixon.
We look together again, it's crazy.
Love it when that happens.
Right. We're coming at you today again to present the fourth and final.
Final, yes.
Of our very first chronicle, Into the Breach. Recorded a year ago.
Is it about that long already? Holy smokes.
That's what she said. And
all right, starting off good.
That's how we do. No, but we're bringing you the dramatic conclusion, I suppose we could say.
Sure. Yeah.
It's very dramatic.
It's the finale.
So hopefully, that'd be the thing.
Okay.
Okay. But, we hope you've been enjoying the series so far.
And Happy New Year, guys.
Yes.
And
Happy
Merry
New Year
Christmas,
and Merry
even
Christmas.
though it just passed.
By now, man, by the time this airs, holy smokes.
Yep.
Right.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, all the
Merry
holidays.
Hanukkah, yeah, the whole...
All of them.
Happy Hanukkah, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Just celebrate them all at once.
Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, good to you.
That's the thing.
Likewise. That's all I gotta say.
You notice how, the last 3 weeks were very concise and to the point, and you put us three in a room together, and now it's fucking chaos?
It's just
what the
how
hell?
it goes.
I love
We're
it.
just a bunch of assholes.
And you guys seem to enjoy that, so
Yeah.
thank you, and you're welcome. But no, for real, this is obviously the last part of the first chronicle, so it's worth mentioning that there are a day or two left.
Couple days.
Couple days
I believe
left?
it's like 4 days left.
Yeah.
To get onto that Patreon so you can make sure you get the start of our third chapter.
Exactly. It's a great time to do it, and also let's not forget that we have the bundle for sale for The Guilty.
Yep.
You can get all 9 parts for...
Over at Ko-fi.
Yep.
Kofi.com/RageAcrossTheInternet.
KO-FI.
Thank you. We're all going to say it. It's fine.
Right. And then, of course, and we're going to be sure that we've already mentioned this on the Discord plenty,
I'm sure we
and
have.
sent a message out to existing patrons, but just so it bears repeating, if you are missing parts, that we will work with you directly to make sure that you can fill that, you can get the entire series for a proper price for what you're missing.
Right.
Yeah. We'll work with each individually to figure out what it is. We have our own little system going to make sure we're not going to rip anybody off here.
Now, I want to make sure we take care of you guys who have joined up but don't have the full set, so you guys will be taken care of too. Don't worry about that bundle. Talk to us. We'll take care of it, but you already know that by now. So,
without further ado,
Chapter 4, Ral-Tik-Thaka.
Enjoy.
Hey, what's up, patrons? It's February, and time for another postmortem. Part 4 of Into the Breach, Ral-Tik-Thaka. Obviously, Porter here. We've got Joey.
Hey, guys.
Tom and Danny.
What's up?
Hey.
So let's not bullshit. This is the final chapter of the first chronicle.
It's a lengthy one.
Season finale.
It is first chronicle under. And again, this was that first 4-parter, to get you guys see if you were interested. And we found out pretty quickly this was going to continue to be a thing.
Got her pinky toes wet.
Right?
I was going to say feet. You want to go pinky toes, weirdo.
That's about as far as you got before you guys were like, oh, man.
Yeah, okay, you got it. Yeah,
That's why I said we got our pinky toe wet. Not toes, pinky toe.
It didn't take much of this first story to get us hooked.
Oh, hooked, but I didn't get super passionate about it until halfway through the Guilty.
No, that's fair, but...
Which we will be covering, but
Oh, yeah, we will.
we got to get through this
And
one
you guys will
first.
realize why I got really passionate about the game.
I think I got pretty passionate about it pretty early, though. It just, stories like this one was awesome, and then The Guilty, just the hooks were already synced in, but it's like, here, let me massage that hook back into your flesh.
That's weird.
I
didn't
know,
know
that
how else
sounds
to put it.
kind
I
of
had to
dirty.
use the word massage.
Sorry. I don't know how else to put it, but that's just...
Rip off the Band-Aid, sir.
Right. Well, even this, going into it here, this 4th part, even this was kind of weird, because again, we established we're going to see if this sticks or not, and because I wasn't sure at the time that it was going to be, it could have been the last Werewolf story I ever told, but I had an angle, so I wanted to do that angle, and there were certain, you look at the NPCs, it's like all my favorite NPCs.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a level of self-indulgence here also, Because it's like, hey, I'm trying to get you guys in. I'm trying to make sure you guys want to do this before we do this for real. Also, if this is my last werewolf story.
You want to use the best you can.
Yeah, I want to do the things I want to do with it.
You want to have fun too.
Yes, there it is. It's exactly it. I want to have some fun with this shit too.
And you did.
I did. And then, I wouldn't say I wrote myself into a corner, because I absolutely didn't. But I guess, we'll get to it at the end of the story. Let's
Okay.
Just take it as it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we start out just as we ended the last time with, why doing his meditation. He breaks out, Ral-Tik-Thaka, Ral-Tik-Thaka, Ral-Tik-Thaka.
And then passes out.
He does, and he opens his eyes wide. They're completely wide, only to shut again as he passes out. And then we get the...
Butcher's like, well then.
Just about everybody's reaction
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
He just voiced it.
Yeah, Butcher's the only one who actually had the, I think, willingness to say anything.
Yeah, I would be like, well, okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the first to
That
say
can't
anything.
be good.
Right?
Yeah, everyone was thinking the same thing.
And then Whiplash gives an order, everyone, stay close, and Jude leaves.
Like, yep. He simply stands and walks off.
Yeah, gotta run to town. I'll be back shortly.
Well, again, it's his pager that's going off. Like, how 90s.
Exactly, right?
Which, fine. Because it's relatable now.
He had shit to do. His pager went off. But I love, immediately after Whiplash, nobody go too far. We're gonna have a chat with the old man once he wakes. Bzz. All right, I gotta go.
Love it.
He doesn't give a fuck. He's got shit to do.
Yeah.
Such a shadow lord.
And then Dempsey gives a little bit of a pat on the back to you guys for your work in the last story.
Oh,
How when Butchers got wounded, and I think we didn't stress it too much. I don't think in the day.
I don't think so.
Was it Butchers? I think Tom, you mentioned the Butchers did get his arm cut off, and you guys jumped right there to help to have his back.
We mothers touched it pretty quick.
Yeah, that was healed pretty well immediately.
Yeah, Jessica was still part of her story at the time, and she did Mother's Touch, but I think Tom and I jumped in front to pretty much protect.
We basically circled around him. I remember.
Yeah,
she had a hell of a role in Mother's Touch because that thing was like reattached.
Yeah,
like instantly.
Yeah, they converged, and I seem to recall him insulting her for it.
Yeah.
He still did somehow.
Yeah, it was like, that's okay, fine. That's the best you're going to be able to do. Just go. It's on. Just fucking, you manage that. Just
Okay,
spotty work, but it's back.
Just love how he said that, but she still had a ridiculous
But yeah, she.
role.
But that was
So they got
Butcher's
the
attitude.
arm, kind of set it in place, and then Mother's touched it back.
Yes.
Well, and that's a good time that you could point to bring up, because that's something that I do differently from other groups. Mm-hmm. Is Mother's Touch is you're supposed to do it. It's you're done. You're fine. And
It doesn't paint a picture though.
Oh, it doesn't. But also, that's really easy. It is a level 1 gift.
It's a little cheaty.
I feel it's a little cheaty. Because there's not really a ceiling on what that heals.
Right.
It is vague.
It's super vague. Well, even the Battle Scar rules can get vague. It's okay, well, if it's before the scene, you can just Mother's Touch it, it's okay. So, like in our games, Mother's Touch will work. Okay, and I think my best example is the broken leg example.
Yeah.
If you get a broken leg in the game, and like that bone is just out of your fucking leg, right? And you use Mother's Touch, a new bone will grow where it was supposed to, and now you still have that piece of bone sticking out like an extra, like a fucking antler.
So either shove it back in or pull it off.
Yeah, you have to reset that thing.
Yeah.
Before you heal it. Otherwise, it's not healed right, and you're gonna have to tend to it later. You've got to.
Which we've done that too, because
Yeah, well, and that's
we'll tend to it later, but at least you can walk right now.
exactly.
And I like how we do that with Mother's Touch. It's not like, oh my God, you're 100% health again. No, you still got your wounds, technically.
You got
I mean, you don't
problems.
have the dice wound penalty, but you still got problems.
Yeah, like those bullets are still in you right now.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
they-
have to take those out.
Yeah, they have to be dug out later.
Yep.
Which is...
Another story for later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets interesting.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
That is another story for later.
No, it really is. That's a good
another
story.
chronicle.
But I mean, yeah, that's something that I do unique to the games, because I think life as a Garou kind of sucks, so let's extra reflect that. And I think it's
Absolutely.
I think it's a fun extra complication. Yeah, it'll heal. is not right.
Sort of.
Yeah, you're going to have to do better than just holding the arm kind of near the stump and using Mother's Touch.
And I like how that humanizes the game a little more. It makes it so more you're looking at injuries differently. Like,
Yes,
you're
because
you're
it's
not
not-
God mode now.
Right.
You can still die,
Yeah, there are bigger stakes.
Yeah.
You're not completely invulnerable.
and that's one of the reasons that I really liked the game more than D&D because hey, we just explained it.
Heal spell.
Yeah, heal spell. Oh, you're 100% again.
Well, isn't it in D&D, and correct me if I'm wrong, that, you died, let's just take him to temple.
You regen.
Just get some of those ashes. We'll take him to temple. We'll be fine. We'll forget about it. Isn't that kind of how that works?
Yeah, you don't have to re-roll a new character.
I know, right?
You can just respawn your character essentially. It's yeah.
That doesn't-
Anyway, we're not on D&D
No,
right now.
but
like, what the hell?
that's just how it's a
See,
different
I
game.
like this because there's still a real possibility that at any moment my character can die.
Yeah.
That's why I said the human aspect to it, and it's just
And don't
mortality.
rush
That's
that,
what it
'cause
is. Not
it
human.
sucks.
No. I don't like. I have no intentions of ever making another character.
That's a bold
Kill him off.
statement.
Smart. Kill him off next game.
If
day.
you kill me off, yes, I will.
I was going to say, are you leaving this group if your character dies? Because you can't hold this group hostage, sir.
You hold you hostage.
I
at that
will
point.
make another one
right?
if Hunter goes. I will make another one.
You damn well better.
But I don't. I
You
don't
don't
want
want to.
Hunter to die. No, I want to continue as Hunter as long as I can.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, you hope that for every character, but
I
Right.
want Ghost to live forever as well, but it's the apocalypse, man.
I get
he
that.
ain't gonna.
I get that, but my point is, as long as this group continues on, I want to stay as Hunter as much as possible.
Okay, but can I get an agreement on record that there's going to be no table flipping if characters die?
No, you can't.
I'm staying silent.
Oh,
I was gonna just say silent, but I was like, you're gonna cut that out in editing.
And,
So
and these
no.
are their firsties.
I know.
That's gonna hurt.
I know.
Bad.
I know.
Oh yeah, I know.
I
It's
know
gonna
it
hurt.
is.
It's gonna
I
be a
know
bad
it's
day.
a possibility, but
Oh, Ghost has come close
Yes.
many times, and every time I was sweating bullets and sick to my stomach.
Oh yeah, I just want to avoid table flipping.
Right. And here's the thing.
I won't flip a table.
When-
I'll just
when-
be.
When you
I'll just be
cry,
bad news bears.
when you cry,
Yeah.
Oh, it would.
no
happen.
one's gonna make fun of you
No.
all right. Well, I feel a little bit better.
because we all know that
Oh
pain.
yeah.
As long as my death frenzy goes out, great.
No.
Anyway, back to the story, guys.
Yeah. Ral-Tik-Thaka.
Yeah. So yeah, Dempsey, he comes to you guys and he thanks you,
Yeah.
or he has this little speech here, which if you look at the script, I wrote it kind of phonetically.
Right.
which is really good because I feel like I'm reading the Fiona book again.
What's that from my brother? Shouldn't even been there, young as yar. Young as yar.
Yep.
Oh, you absolutely wrote it phonetically.
I'm gonna forget. You prove yourself to me. It's Fiona. It's Garou. Just decided. I'm going to mark it proper. You're getting your glyph now. Where do you want them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
where
that's
we got
when
it.
we got
Okay,
our glyphs.
Because remember, at the time, the three of you were all Fiona.
Right at the time, yeah.
So Dempsey glyphed you guys right then and there.
It was a cool nod. Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was a show right there. You earned some respect.
Did he do it with his bum arm?
No, Dempsey.
Oh, Dempsey, my bad.
Yeah.
No, not even that. I put it on my chest.
Mine's on my back.
I forget where
I don't remember where
Evelyn's.
Evelyn. Yeah.
Evelyn was the character.
Yeah,
I had to think about it. It was a long time ago.
I'd have to think about that too.
Probably her
Yeah,
shoulder
she
or
switched.
something.
She switched characters, so it's like, oh shit, what was that first character's
Right.
name?
No, I think you're right. It was Evelyn.
Yeah, no, it was.
Okay.
So at that point, we let you guys have a little free time to talk to folk.
Little sandbox.
Yep, and then Jude returns.
It wasn't gone long.
No, it was the next beat, where and this set something up that this set up,
Instantly foreshadowed.
this set up some dominoes that are falling,
Now.
that are still falling.
Yeah.
falling.
Yep.
You know,
It's still in our current chronicle falling.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's still falling. Almost like it's so tall, it's taking fucking forever to fall.
Oh,
I think it's widespread
it's
dominoes.
thick, probably.
Ew.
It's not the big P anymore. It's
No,
the big
no.
D for domino.
Thank you. Good night.
Remember, you guys paid for this content. Holy shit.
D for domino, man. Come on.
Anyway,
Yeah. And yeah, Jude gets back and he explains that he put some context to work looking into the three of you due to the curious circumstances surrounding your arrival to this forward sept.
The double kidnapping?
Yeah, the
quadruple kidnapping. There was 4 of us.
yeah, because there were the 4 of them.
But you were each double kidnapped because you were kidnapped in the van and then the rabies and chains found you and double kidnapped you.
I guess that technically,
That'd be how it
technically
worked.
is.
Yeah.
At least it was the good guys the second time.
Because you went with him, but if you hadn't, you were going with him.
I was going to say, can you willingly, can you kidnap a willing person?
I mean, at that point, you got to think about it as a player. You were in a fog. You're just doing.
Right.
True.
You're just doing.
But bottom line, Tom, if you would have run, Dempsey would have chased you down, broken your legs, and drug you by your stupid hair. And he'd have been irritated about it. He'd have acted like this is your fault. This is so inconvenient for him. Like you're the bad guy in that scenario.
And then questioning if he's going to send me to an institute.
But yeah, naked, bloody children walking down the road with their kidnappers, their second kidnappers.
Right? I like how, the rest of the chains, they brought some clothes because it's a funny story, but they don't want to bail them out.
Yeah.
So Jude comes back with something.
Yes. He explains he sent some contacts to look into you guys. And people have been backed up, so he doesn't have everything, all the information he needs quite yet. However, he passes
An envelope.
Yes, an envelope and a small package.
Great.
To
At the time.
to Danny.
It was Scrag Ripper.
Yes.
So yeah, we already
we talked about Scrag
how
Ripper.
he got his new name.
Get deed name, yeah.
Yep.
That was cool.
And it was a letter from his father.
Yeah. And that was it. It was a letter in the package. And at that time, I was afraid to open the package. But the letter was pretty much saying, and it was clear, too, that the father had zero education, or very, very little education.
And now, before Danny goes on, I actually wrote this letter. This wasn't described. I scrolled this thing out and folded it up and handed it to him.
It made it made it more real. And Porter wrote it to the point where, Scrag Ripper's dad had so little education that, the bad spelling, the really bad grammar, not even being able to tell who he was.
Yeah, letters were reversed. I got the E backwards,
It must have been painful to write.
Like, I wanted it to make it look like a 5-year-old did it.
It was, pretty good.
I remember reading. I saw it. I
Yeah.
remember it. It must have been painful to do.
And then that's where Jude had told Scrag Ripper that this is from your father. He is a Hamid Fianna Thurge. But
No.
on the letter, no?
Galliard.
That's right.
And it's
On the letter, he said...
He signed it Ahram.
I thought it was Thurge.
It might have been. I haven't seen the letter in a while. But the point is he...
It was completely different.
Right. And to be clear, he didn't offer that information first because he read the letter over your shoulder.
Okay.
And he's like, curious. River Song is a Galliard.
Yeah. Drake Riversong. It was signed. The letter was signed by Drake Riversong.
The name alone kind of gives it away. It's a little bit Galliard-like.
Right?
I mean, it's Fianna-like, too.
It's true.
And, I think the point of Drake is important, too, because as a Hamid, Dave's character, Scrag Ripper, had grown up with the name Luca Drake.
Yes.
Which also muddied the water there.
Yeah, because I remember somebody
your dad's
saying,
name's Drake Drake?
Yep.
Right?
It's like, what's going on here? So we set that up already.
And I knew it was a setup too. I was like, God damn it.
And he offered, if pressed, he'll offer the Drake River Song is in Wyoming. But this isn't the time for all that.
Yeah, that was the only information he was willing to give me. Extra information.
And again, not the first time that's referenced. Or it is the first time, but it will not be the last.
There you go.
Before that gets you encounter that thing.
Before we do the whole
Okay.
Before you find
Maryland.
yourselves in Wyoming.
So in here, it says Tom or Evelyn. So, Tom, is Ghost's Hamid name Tom?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, real original.
he wasn't even. He didn't even have his deed name yet.
Nope. No, in fact,
I didn't gain that deed name till the guilty.
no, I think you got it here. I hope it's in the script.
I think. Well,
Because Dooley suggested something. And I hope I have it written down, and we're going to find out, because we didn't really go over this before we started recording today. We were talking about what else we're doing in this session.
That's what we have the script for. It's okay.
That's right. That's right.
You're finding out as we find out.
Yeah, we're remembering stuff. Joey's finding out.
I'm finding out.
Because, yeah, this is all new to her.
I mean, I don't know about new. You at least heard
She
the
didn't
story.
play it.
She didn't play it, but she at least heard the story after we had done it.
Well, yeah, but what happened, how much detail, you know?
Right,
I mean, it's a whole
You
different
get the
game
bullet
ballpark
points,
if you
yeah.
didn't
Oh,
play
big
it.
time, yeah.
So it looks like, we get a little another sandbox time waiting for Wyatt to wake up.
Yeah, and there's a little blurb down here.
About Bangarang.
Yeah, about another, some more anecdotes here and there.
They're telling stories around the fire.
Yeah, because again, they're just waiting for Wyatt to wake up. So Bangarang tells a story. Tells a story about a job back in New York that they were clearing out a vampire nest in Soho. Mm-hmm. And he's talking about so it got thick in this fucking tenement, and so I grabbed this pipe and I shoved it right at this vampire's ass, and he moaned. Oh, the fucking thing moaned. Oh, gross. I forgot about that until the scripts were printed out.
And I remember when it happened. Oh my god, because at that point we're doing sandbox and everything's serious. And we just got the letter from Drake.
Drake.
and we're trying to do sandbox and we're, getting little bits of information here and there. So, okay, well, where else do we go? And we didn't have anything. So that's when you had your little anecdote just to try and break up that monotony for a second.
Yeah.
And then like, he fucking moaned. And I remember vividly, we had to stop story because probably both Tom and I were
I was
crying
dying laughing. I even mentioned that I was probably sitting there in lupus just cackling and hacking up a lung or something.
I couldn't even stay in character for that moment.
No, I did. I believe we paused there.
Like I had to get up, get my laughs out, get my tears out. It was like I said, it was just to break up that just for a quick second.
It was a good spot to pause because Wyatt wakes up.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too. Like with the oral tradition of the Garou Nation, there's always a story or about a job or this or that, and I think it's important. There are two types, right? There's that shit at a moot, where it's all formal and I'm telling you the story of Gregor Wormfo and the Death Bear.
Yeah, it's
the
formal versus the informal.
Yeah, or the war against the Draculas in Chicago. Right? These big grand scale things. And then there's like it's Tuesday and we're around the fire. And hey, man, let me tell you about the story at work. Because this is what it is.
Right.
It's just life on the job.
Yep.
And when you tell, and we all do that. We've all told stories about something crazy or funny or stupid that happened at work.
Yeah.
And that's how those stories are. It's never, I went and got coffee and there was coffee in the machine.
How much did you pay for that cup?
Oh, it was 35 cents. It was nuts. Exactly. That's never the story. It's the time that the intern spilled coffee on his crotch and then immediately started beating it like a bongo drum and then doubled over in pain because what kind of idiot does that?
Just expected him to strip nude right there.
But you know what I mean? It's that kind of story. So you want to, I think ideally you want to craft those kind of stories and to try to make them entertaining or memorable because why else would someone tell that story? We fought some vampires and then they died. That's not the story. No. But how gross is that? And the guy moaned, oh, that's going to stick with you. Mm-hmm. That's so inappropriate. I feel dirty. Like I participated in something I didn't mean to.
Right of cleansing after this.
Exactly.
So at that point, then I'd like to think that maybe everyone's laughing at that story.
Right.
It's what woke up Wyatt.
Maybe not. Maybe it was just time. But who's going to top that story? I mean, let's face it.
Right. So Wyatt's waking up, and
it revealed itself to me. I could see it clearly. And then he goes on to describe the threat. Ral-Tik-Thaka was an ancient servant of the Eater of Souls, sealed long before the Wormcomers came to these shores. It was sealed away by my middle brother. It has awoken.
Okay, so now we know what the threat is, the big bad.
Right, and we know where it is, thanks to Cagebreaker.
Yeah, that's
Right.
Cagebreaker. He knows where, but didn't know what. Now everyone knows what.
So
there's our threat. There's the main boss.
the pieces are now in place.
Well, put it in perspective. That could be a threat that rivals a storm eater. Oof.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let's take care of this, please.
Yeah, we can't, at which point, Wahai says we will strike in 2 dawns. Make your preparations. Thunder Fury, might I have a moment?
So he's going to Jude.
Right. Which, again, is kind of a statement, right?
Oh, yeah. It speaks on the reputation of Jude.
Because remember, there's no love between these two. You remember the disdain of which Wyatt spoke about Jude in the first chapter. Like, he wasn't even invited.
No.
He's here.
No one's happy about it, but at the same time, everyone has their respect for it. And something like that, where like, hey, I need a moment of just you, I think speaks on that relationship, which is nuts.
Yeah, right.
It speaks on that respect, too.
And then, hey, look at this. And Jude makes his way further into the woods with Wahaya. He looks back to the remaining members of the Calm. Dooley, get Vidoma on the phone. Tell her to get her bony ass down here by nightfall.
Are you calling in the packs?
Well, yeah, well, and I mean, it's one of those things. If you're dealing with a Bane that is on the threat level of the Storm Eater, you want Thurges.
Yeah.
Well, not even just Thurges. You need backup.
You need
You
war
need
party.
people.
Yes.
You need a big war party for this. Because you're looking at resealing it. You're going to need a lot of defense.
And while you guys didn't know it at the time, and you guys listening still don't know what the fuck we're talking about, Vidoma is a character that you guys get to know really well over the coming years.
Yep. Next Chronicle.
Yeah, that's where it starts.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you guys forgot she was here.
I didn't.
Did for a second.
A lot of people show up, but that's an important character overall.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Chapter 4. Throw her bony ass down here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think we pushed it either about who that character is at that time.
No, it's probably not. No, because
Reinforcements. That's
Yeah,
all you need to
I
know.
think that's what we were
At this
going
point,
for.
it's more bodies to help us.
Yeah.
exactly.
And we just like, okay, that's reinforcements. Good. Go for us.
But knowing, like, right there, that's the beginning of Vidoma in your games. How do you feel about that intro on that?
Remembering it, it's like,
Like,
oh, shit.
doesn't it seem a little...
It's not as big as it should be.
Okay.
She's
At that time, it
At that
wasn't.
time, it wasn't. But I mean, she was a big character to us. I mean, at that time, it's just another character. So
True.
that intro is like nothing.
But it's...
It's like throwing a freaking rock in an ocean.
Sure, but isn't it like a little odd to hear her being talked up even about like that?
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, see if she'll help. No, tell her to get her bony ass over here.
Well, it means there's lots of history there.
True. No, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. We see that there's the history, but at the same time, you see that the kind of pull that Jude has, especially now knowing who Vidoma as a character is. Before, it's like whatever, just another body to bring in to help.
Yeah. But yeah, she ends up, becoming a pretty relevant NPC in her guys' world.
Oh yeah, still to this day.
Yeah. And then again, you have the Rabies and Chains. Bang, get the car, we're going to DC.
And then that shows too, like the differences between those two packs, like the Alpha Jude of the Calm versus the Alpha Whiplash of the Rabies and Chains, and their relationship to their own packs.
No, go on, elaborate.
Jude's, I think Jude's, what's the word I'm looking for? Not superiority, maybe just authority.
Okay.
Everyone, the rest of his pack see it, and they kind of, I don't want to say clam up when they hear that, but they know it's time to work. They know what they need to do. But when Whiplash says it, he says it with more bite and more ferocity. Okay, we better do something or we're going to get fucked up, kind of thing. I don't know.
Tom, is that your perspective?
Kind of. I mean, really, like I said, it's just how it is. Just follow the orders right now. We were so fresh. I just follow the orders.
Well, sure, but you also have the benefit of hindsight. You can look back with, your current eyes as well as looking from the moment.
Well, looking back now, it just shows that Jude has, like you were saying, a lot of pull. He really does. And we didn't realize it at the time, obviously. And the way you paint him, yeah, he gets shit done. And then, with Whiplash, it's that authority. It's that Ahran authority. It's just get it done. Like, you're fucking listening to me, or I'm going to take out your legs.
I think where Whiplash does it with more intimidation, and Jude does it more with reputation.
Or you owe him a thing.
Besides the point, we'll get to that later.
Well, I think something to add to that, and Joey, did you notice, because I mean, you're looking at the script, obviously you weren't there the day, but you're looking at the script, that Whiplash says, hey, we're doing this. Mm-hmm. And Jude says, you're doing this.
I was gonna say, like, because you were going around the table, so I was keeping quiet, waiting till my turn, that it looks like Jude is leading by delegation, where Whiplash is leading by example.
And that's definitely true.
That's, you know what? That's a much better way than I did it. I was just beating around bushes there.
And if you
Thank you
look
for
back,
simplifying it.
And if you look back, you've seen it all chronicle. Mm-hmm. You know?
Oh, yeah. I think that right there, though, what we just talked about, that really put it into a broader, widening perspective now.
You know, it's we are a pack, we are the rabies in chains, we're going to do this thing together, or even if we're separating, we're all doing our part together, versus Jude's, you work for me.
Right.
You are doing what I tell you to.
Well, yeah, and that leads into, I see Jude as micromanaging. Mm-hmm. You know, he's telling his people what they need to do. Like, you know, think, don't think. Like, do not help me. I will tell you what to do. You just do it.
I like that. Don't help.
You know?
Yeah. I think the difference is he doesn't do it with his own pack. He does it with other ones that he's micromanaging. His own pack.
Oh no.
They should just know.
Right here. Dooley, get on the phone.
Yeah, Dooley, get on the phone.
Like, and then Whiplash, like, says, hey, we're going to D.C., but, like, you know,
we're going to D.C.
the members, you know, Bangarang or Butchers, they're all doing their own thing because they know they need to. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not being told, okay, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing, that's what you're doing. They know what needs to be accomplished, so they have a freer pack style where they can make their own decisions and work commonly towards a goal.
Well, it speaks a lot to both trust and respect.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You know, the rabies and chains trust and respect each other.
Jude does not respect
the calm works for Jude.
Right.
All I see is Shadow Lord Ahram. Just with the way it's played out. I mean, Jude is just a Shadow Lord.
That's tribe versus auspice, but
I get it, but it's just the way I see it.
Well, I can see, but at the same time, Jude's not hiding it.
No, not at all.
He's not hiding anything. He's not puppeteering. He's just flat out telling you what you're going to do.
It's not puppeteering yet.
Yet. That is a key word.
I just thought, you know, it's a good moment to take a step back with that, you know, because there's two prime examples of the different ways packs are led, you know. Not only is it a good study in that, but it's also a teaching moment for you guys where I'm showing you this, whether you realize I'm showing it to you or not.
Did not realize it
because,
at all.
hey, someone's got to lead your pack. How's it going to be?
Yeah, because he's right.
Yeah.
At that time, we haven't decided who was taking over yet.
At that time, we didn't notice this either. Guaranteed, none of us noticed that at that time.
I'm sure that's true, but I did it.
Yeah, no, looking back at
retrospect,
it, looking back at it now, I'm like, wow, okay, I see it, but did not hit us at all at the time.
And you're still seeing it back in the day. You're just not recognizing what you're seeing. You're still taking it in and you know, seeing that it's an option if you're not recognizing it.
Yeah, because even if you're not recognizing it, it's helping you form your opinion on the characters. Mm-hmm. Where
it's definitely helping Ghost figure out his opinion on it.
Yeah, Ghost does not care for Jude.
No, he doesn't like controlling people. That's why.
Yep.
And it starts right there.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's not like Whiplash is any more or less controlling. He's just not commanding or direct about it in that kind of way.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, if Bangarang said no, for some reason,
there's a problem.
There's going to be a problem.
Right.
Where then I think, as my character saw it, that's why between Jude and Whiplash, those are two of his most favorite. They're the leaders of their own packs, and he's looking up to him as that. Because I think at that point, we were pretty much deciding that's when I was taking over as Alpha. So I think maybe those two being some of those favorites, maybe that's why.
Well, maybe. Speaking of alphas, though, how about that? I think it's a good segue. We go to Ron, who looks at the three of you and says, "Hey, come on, we're going to walk about. Cage breakers, stay with Wahai, keep him safe."
Yeah.
Where?
I got to show you a thing?
Yeah, where he opens a moon bridge right there in that forward sept, which, of course, is a higher level gift to be able to do that.
Right.
So, not that you guys knew it at the time, but that's already flexed a little muscle, isn't it?
That's a cool flex. I like it.
Yes,
I mean, it makes sense, too, because the next part is looks over his shoulder and gives a nod, kind of like acknowledging his own... Look at my work.
Like,
here.
hey.
Like, I did a pretty good job.
Typical Silent Hill arrogant bullshit.
Yep.
Julie takes notice real quick.
Yes, he does.
It's like, what the hell? You can do that, you son of a bitch, and didn't tell anybody?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, if they had done that, 3 stories ago?
Yeah.
It's
You
exactly
guys
what
would've been-
Julie says, too.
You guys would have been shipped off.
You could do this the whole fucking time? Are you kidding me? Why don't you take these kids to a fucking K in 3 days ago? Nobody asked.
Just love that
That's
response.
so Trip.
Yep.
I mean, that's such a Ron thing. Like, oh yeah.
Just that level of aloof.
Like, whatever.
We wanted that? It's crazy.
Nobody asked.
Just
Well,
made
nobody
me like
said
Ron
anything.
better at that point right there was his response. It just
Yeah.
made me like him that much more.
Yeah, but then that's when we figure out what a moon bridge is.
Right? Your very first Moonbridge ride.
So they go into the portal, the
Yep.
moon bridge.
Yep.
And you describe a little bit of the moon bridge and kind of how it's working, which I think is neat.
Yeah, to give them a feel,
Yeah.
of walking this tube of light, and you can see the umbra below you, and shit in the distance above you, and, just the vastness of everything. And I could see my house from here kind of shit.
Right.
And because it was the first time on the moon bridge.
Yeah, you guys are a little...
As you reach the end of the moon bridge, you find yourselves tumbling on the ground, and you make us do an athletics roll.
Wow.
See if we land on our feet.
I think I failed that.
I don't think any of us.
So you
Did
just
it.
tumble out of the moon bridge and
I
go
think we
like a
face
blah, blah,
planted.
blah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, you just said all 3 of us tumbled.
That makes sense. Because, again, you had no idea what you were doing, what you
No.
were in for. Ron explains it, about halfway through, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, he's got the 2 giant wings because owl's their totem. Which is already weird as shit.
Right.
Like, for you guys. Like,
Why do you have wings and I don't?
A lupus with wings.
Sweet.
Yeah.
He's a
Didn't
flying
know that
bingo
was a
man.
thing.
That's-
I just learned werewolves were real, and I'm one of them. Now all of a sudden there's flying lupuses.
yeah. You guys are right at the, about the end of the arc, because he's explaining to you, he does page, what is it, page 3? He's explaining to you, he's telling you, hey, how time works differently in the moon bridge. This is an instant, you'll be there instantly, it's great. Talks about where and why you're going, that you're going to New Orleans, that you're going to his home, and then, he's not going to be able to help you. He's not going to be able to field a whole lot of questions. That's Second's department. I can't. But race
Being
you to the
aloof
bottom.
again.
Yep.
Yeah. Race you to the
Race
bottom.
you to the bottom.
Yep.
And that is where you put it right there. It's
Yeah.
a Dex flat roll to land on your feet.
And, yeah.
Which I think none of you,
None of
you
us.
did.
None of us. Everyone, I think, did.
She might. Okay.
I think she was successful. It was me and Danny that face planted.
Probably.
Fucking sack of doorknobs.
Then again, we were just starting. We didn't have the dots that we do now.
Right.
Which obviously it shouldn't matter because that's not the character, but still, it was a funny painted picture.
But then you come out of the moon bridge
Yes.
and you're behind a building, and I read this next section and see Mel's Diner. Like, Alice.
Yeah. No, I know.
Okay.
Is it because the guy's name is Mel?
Well, and he's balding in his 60s, wearing a white t-shirt and apron.
There may have been some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Look, it's little.
Mel Brooks? Or
no.
just some
No,
guy
no.
you used to know named Mel?
What?
Oh, you tell me.
It was a show.
The TV
It was
show?
before Danny's time.
Apparently, because I
Don't look at me.
It was
Kiss
a
my
show.
grits?
everything was before your time.
Now I'm with you
Okay.
because That's
Mel's
a
Diner.
little bit of a reference.
A little bit of a nod.
You know, a little harmless little nod, though. Mm-hmm. But, of course, you know where they actually are.
Right. They are at the Razorback.
Yes. You know, they find them a respectively large building, thick tree cover, ceiling goes on forever all around you. Ron stretches once more in his Hamid form as an overweight, bald man in his 60s steps out of one of the back doors. He's wearing a white t-shirt, an apron, and an unlit cigarette dangling from his mouth. Hey, Ron. What's up, Mel? This is the Bitches and Brews. This is Mel.
Bitches and brews.
And I like how fucking mundane that is.
Oh, very.
You know?
You come tumbling out of a moon bridge.
There's fucking lit portal and you fall out of it.
And Mel's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Just another day.
Yeah.
Another Wednesday.
He's just the cook in the kitchen, you know, and he's like, oh.
He's in his 60s. He's seen a lot.
He's like, yeah, whatever.
We're not the first Cubs to come tumbling out of that moon bridge.
Yeah, no reaction to you tumbling out either. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just drunk Fiona.
He's
whatever.
like, it's Tuesday, gives a shit.
Yeah. I've only got 15 minutes for the smoke break. I don't have time for this.
And that introduces you guys, to the location of the Razorback.
Do we discuss how that's pretty much when we decided our name right there? Our pack name? Or did we do that last
That was
time?
a while ago.
Yeah.
I think that was like either the second or third.
Yeah,
chapter.
you
We
guys
did
were
that a while
dubbed the
ago.
Bitches and Brews in the second story.
Okay. I
It's
don't
in the
remember.
script, because
right.
Jude makes a comment about it.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh.
the Bitches and Brews.
Yeah,
Huh?
let's see how long that lasts.
Yeah, we'll see. Exactly. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, now I remember. It took me a
Longer than
second.
you think.
Right.
Longer than I wanted to.
You're the only naysayer.
I hated it.
Oh, we browbeated you into you.
You beat it into me so bad. I was so mad. I did not like the fucking name.
And you still can't get over it.
Nope.
We changed it, okay?
Yeah, I know it's a fun story. But
It was 3-on-1.
yeah, no, it really was. It was
That's
super
what
unfair.
That's what she said.
Phrasing?
Hey-oh.
Okay, so back. So this is the Bitches and Brews. As some stupid pack of cubs tumbles out of a moon bridge and gets no reaction out of them.
Which, the worthier part here is this brings us to the Razorback, which, again, is another location that becomes pretty well important.
Yeah, no, I like the Razorback.
Oh, it's
It's hard not to
fun.
like it.
yeah.
You've used it, and you told me about it. You've used it in several stories, but it changes up a little bit every time.
Well, I always do that because it's important to revise your work, and you don't want to tell the same stories. But even if you fall in love with the location, there's always something you can do different. But yeah, the Razorback, the bar in Delacroix, Louisiana.
It's unofficial sept, in my opinion.
It is kind of an unofficial set.
It's
Yeah.
like an unofficial sept.
Because it is the home of the Silent Howl, who, before becoming NPCs, I played Segment Rainmaker, the leader of the Howl. We worked out of the
Right.
Razorback. So it's like, for me, it's a little like Homecoming.
Makes sense.
For you guys,
This is your Hail Mary of throwing everything out there just in case this was your last story.
yeah, I want to go back, I want to visit,
and I put Jasmine's write-up in
Yes.
the Razorback.
Exactly.
So,
It's a long history. So, we describe the Razorback. It's very, very kind of rustic looking. And what it is it's a shifter bar.
yeah.
You go inside and you meet Roxy Softhowl, the owner and proprietor.
And I love her t-shirt. Beware of dog.
Yes. Yeah, short black tank top with trees. Beware of dog.
Fun fact: I named my dog after the NPC.
Hey, it works.
This was before I got my dog.
I know. I know you named her.
Yeah, and don't ever tell my wife because I will deny it all day long.
But by the way, is the second animal who has been named after one of my NPCs.
Really?
Yeah, the Virginia group, Vidoma's player, actually. But got a dog they named her Shalassie.
That's awesome. Good name.
That's a cool name for a dog, but I don't know how the hell I convinced my wife Roxy was the best name, but literally I like the name so much from this character. And even though, is it Roxy Softhowl, or was it the sister that's not, she's kinfolk, she's not Garou?
No, Roxy is kinfolk.
That's what it was, okay. Yeah. Roxy's not Garou. She's kinfolk. Her sister is
Sarah
Softhowl. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
But Roxy will get into the field. Roxy
Yes.
has no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
she's her own badass.
Oh yeah, she'll throw down.
No, Roxy was the fifth Beatle of the Silent Howl. For
Yeah.
a while.
Fifth Beatle.
But yeah, I like how she's like, "Welcome home, Trip."
Yes. As soon as Ron gets through the door, others got home yesterday. They're upstairs. Who are your friends? And immediately, goes, this is the bitches and brews, the Cubs. I gotta grab Seka.
We got a thing to do.
Yep.
Yep, there's a job.
Hopefully this one doesn't involve a sandcastle.
No, we didn't know about the sandcastle.
And story for another time.
So, so you're left there in the bar. Mm-hmm. I think she served you guys around and drinks, made a little bit of small talk.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that was true.
Yeah.
No, again, that's why I liked that character. Even though she was only kinfolk, she's still her own badass. That's why I stuck with the name. And
I love your typos.
Yeah, those are fun.
Aren't they?
There's some good. There's been some good ones in here.
Yeah, they're really
that I have
good.
just danced around before you put a cap on for everybody. But sometimes it turns into another word and it gets by your spell check,
Of course.
and I don't always have time to proof. And sometimes this is just for me.
I was gonna say,
Exactly.
that's
These were never written with the intent of the four of us sitting around here discussing them.
Yeah, you wrote
I'm
them.
sure now as he's writing them, they're changing.
No.
They absolutely will not.
No.
Nice.
I ain't got time for that shit, man.
Right.
I was gonna say he just finds it, he prints it off, and reprints it, and we come here and do this.
Right.
Yeah. And in the next paragraph, you're describing the guy who comes downstairs, and you meant to say wiry frame.
But he
Yes.
put winery.
Yes.
Nice.
Got a bottle hanging out of each pocket. What?
Classy and sexy.
Yes.
This is where we get introduced to segment.
Yes. This and that's why we're taking a second with it, because this
It's
is
your own personal character.
He's built like
Yeah.
a winery.
he was
Vines and all.
just right.
Okay, not vines, but dreadlocks.
Which close enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you meet at this point. You meet Segment Rainmaker, leader of the Silent Howl. I mean, you meet the rest of the Howl. Period. Mm-hmm. Which
But he was the last one of because everyone else was down at the bar at this time.
No,
No,
he came down first.
He's the first
Oh,
one
he
to
was
come
first
down.
one? Okay. I'm trying to remember it. Before I read it here, I'm trying to remember it by my memory. Not working very well,
Why
huh?
would you do that? You got the script.
You're going off of something that was 2 years ago. Come on.
Sometimes it's better that way. But not when it's wrong, so hey.
All right.
But I like how Ron is just talking about how they have an old-timey Bane and they've got to bind it, like, in the middle of the bar. Like, just no.
Oh, at that point, we'd already come out of a moon bridge and no one reacted to it, so we figured...
But that was behind the building. That could have been, you
But
know.
if the
No, that's
cook didn't
true.
react to it...
Right, but
Like, in the bar, you could have normies.
Yeah, true. But I think at
I
that
mean,
point we were like...
they don't.
They
But
don't.
you guys didn't know that.
Right.
And then I think once we realized that no one's reacting to this in a crazy way, what the fuck are they talking about? What do you mean, Banes? And everyone's like, well, okay, I guess we're in the right place. Nothing's going to surprise them.
Well, yeah, I mean, she sets you guys up with beers. You don't get carded.
Yeah.
And we're all well under 18. So.
Right?
Right.
And there is no ID. You don't have an ID between you.
Yeah. But they knew. They could tell.
But the way, like Ron just screams up the staircase. Just,
Yeah.
oi! And then Segment comes down. That's enough.
It's like the guy who's...
I just like what he said. We got to think second why I stepped in it proper good. That's a good way of putting that.
I was just thinking this is kind of like the guy who's friends with the bar owner and just walks behind the bar and grabs 2 beers. Yeah, just add 2 more.
Well, and what you see here in the script is, and I think alluded to, without going out and saying it, is maybe it's just more of a little friendship situation going on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Roxy?
Roxy and Segment.
Okay.
You have, he comes downstairs.
She immediately hands him a glass.
She gives him a wink and hands him a glass of whiskey.
And I mean, that's got to be interesting because Sarah is a member of the pack,
Yes.
and Roxy, who is kin, can roll with the pack,
Right.
but she's winking at the alpha. Ooh, that's tough. that's a sticky wicket.
Certainly. And, that relationship isn't without its issues here and there.
Right.
But I mean, it
Especially
was,
being,
but it was right from there that I wanted to establish that subtly.
Mm-hmm.
very subtle. Yeah.
But again, it's how natural was it? You know,
Yeah.
Like he's coming down. She's got a drink for him already.
Yeah, and I remember
Didn't do it for Ron. Didn't do it for Sage. Didn't do it for Sarah.
Right. But plus the wink. Yeah.
Yeah. And you and I have had storytelling phone calls where, we're talking about these two like throwing glasses at each other.
Oh yeah.
They have arguments and they can clear a bar.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith movie kind of thing.
Yeah, it's run for your lives.
No thanks.
Yeah, right. But then, a couple more slip down the stairs, and then we describe Sage Windover Mountain, the Bait of the Silent Howl, the Stargazer.
Mm-hmm. The mute.
Yes. And that's
a cool
That's
character.
fun. At first, that was fun, trying to figure out what he's trying to get across.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not sign language.
No, he doesn't know sign language.
But like, it's a lot of hand motions, a lot of head movements.
Body language.
Very big body language.
Yeah.
And it's important to note that I act this out.
Yes.
At no point, or maybe very rarely will I go, Sage makes a motion, and this is what it means.
Yes.
There's been times where Sage pulled out a notebook or something to write on and
Yes.
wrote down
Yeah.
what he was trying to get at.
I think when there's too much for you to quote unquote act out, that's when you'll write it down.
Yeah, and but usually it's out of frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, at the same
But
time,
I find it funny because he has mind speed.
Yeah.
well, we don't know that at that time.
But I still find it funny that he chooses to do this when he has mind speed.
Yeah, because even then, when he does write it out, Porter has a smaller notebook that fits in the palm of his hand, and he'll use that as Sage. He won't use his notes that he's holding on to. He'll write it down on that notebook.
But Sage has, Sage and the Howl communicate with his pigeon sign language.
Yes.
So they all know what his signs mean.
Yes, and
So-
we're trying to learn that.
Yeah.
And Mindspeak is not a toy.
It was fair. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's what he'd tell you.
But I'm just saying, if he has something very important to get across, he
Sure.
can obviously use mind speed.
And then actually following him, we have Sarah Softhowl, the final member of the Silent Howl, who Joy, when you're reading that description, is there anything that catches you?
The stud earrings that are different glyphs. I like that.
Oh, thank you.
Auburn hair, interrupted by a streak of purple, and is cut like that girl from Friends.
Which girl from Friends?
Would be Jennifer Aniston because of the
Okay.
era, but you don't
Okay.
want to say it.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, what do you mean cut? Okay, now I got it. So if she's got a different glyph for earrings, are those just earrings, or are those actually like fetishes or
No,
gifts, or just earrings?
Cool earrings
Okay.
that she had custom done. Why not, right?
But, you point out that Roxy and Segment have a little wink and, a nudge, and her eyes start to run, and she suppresses a smile, and then looks at the rest of you.
Yes.
So, she's happy to see Ron
Yes, she is.
in a, attention-calling manner.
Yes.
So maybe you guys should pay attention to that. Maybe you shouldn't. I'm not the boss of you.
But you're right. You caught it. It was there.
I'm
exactly
rank one,
intentional.
I'm not stepping in their business.
I'm with Tom on that one. Yeah, not stepping in.
That went over my head anyway as a brand new character. Did not
Sure,
realize it.
but there it is.
Yeah.
It's like that's a litany breach looking to happen.
At least one-sided at this point that you know of. But yeah, exactly. Is there something there? Because clearly she's very happy to see Ron
Not the rest of them,
and is suppressing that because we can't be too obvious.
right?
And so, the situation's being explained to the rest of the Howl. They're in. And so your friends here, they're part of it then. And his
Pointing to
response,
us.
yes, his response, again referring to the three of you, is not anymore. They're staying here while we finish this.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So he took you to New Orleans to get his pack and bench you. And I know you remember that shit.
Oh yeah, because
Not happy.
we fought to go.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
very impressed.
Okay.
Because that was Ron's plan. He didn't ask you if you wanted to come with him. He said, come on, I want to show you something.
Yeah, he was.
You can get drunk here at the Razorback while the adults go do a thing. That was the plan.
Yeah,
And no, we fought because this was our find. We wanted.
Yeah, and I think that was
to be a part of it.
That was the kind of the point we were making. Like, this is because of us.
Okay, but look at it from their point of view. You 2, 3 are kids. You're
Oh no, they
gonna
absolutely have a good
something
point.
up.
Yeah,
You're
no, they have a great point.
They
but-
have a point, but we also
you're-
had a statement to make.
But you're also most likely to die, and maybe Gaia needs all the warriors she can handle. Like, there's too few of you guys as it is, so...
At that point, it's not his decision to make on our lives; it's our own.
And I see. Look at them go. Even today.
Oh yeah, goddamn right.
No, I was really impressed. I mean, I didn't think you guys would bitch out of the encounter, but I had to offer that.
You were given the chance, though.
Yeah, like I had to give you guys the chance to be massive cowards and have that be a theme that you'd have to overcome that reputation. Had to give you the option, Mm-hmm. And
But I think at the same time we already made the decision when we went to that spiral hive, even though it wasn't a full hive, it was a mini one or whatever.
sure, but that was you didn't know what you were into yet. No one
Right.
knew what you were into yet.
Right.
Now that here's the information, it's on the table.
Yeah. Look, you
And-
just went into a small spiral hive. There's just a few spirals there.
Yeah.
Now you're going against a giant bane who's, equal to a storm eater. You sure you want to do this?
Well, it wasn't even. Are you sure you want to? It wasn't. Are you sure you want to do?
Oh,
this?
no, it's like,
it was.
no,
You're
you're
not doing this.
Really throwing the big threats at us right off the get go.
Yeah, well...
Well, it was waking up.
Hey, you're Garou. You're going to be dealing with this. Deal with it.
And again, what's a threat big enough to get all these characters together?
Right.
I think
The story's about you. The world doesn't revolve around you.
That's right.
I think that's the major part, to bring all those different characters, even though they're your favorites, and that's how you get to pepper them in, because
There needs to be a reason.
Yeah, but exactly. There needs to be a reason. These are all coming together.
You don't get a group of talent like that together because it's like, oh look, there's 4 scrags. Oh no.
Yeah.
Someone call them fucking cavalry. I see a scrag.
Okay, so in here, you're talking about the argument and the debate for whether they're going to come, handle the threat or not. And it says if they don't stand up for themselves, Sekhmet will have the final say because his vote counts twice. Which, fine, sure, whatever.
Why does his vote count twice?
Because he's the alpha and he says so.
That's what I was going to say. I was waiting for you to say.
Right. So, were they always going to be included, or did they actually have the option to stay behind?
I mean,
I think you gave us the option.
I
You guys
didn't-
really want to stay behind. And we're
yeah,
like,
I
fuck
didn't
that.
think they would stay behind, but you had they
The
get to
option's
make
there.
that
You had to
choice.
dangle the shiny quarter in front of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, otherwise, we might as well just be sitting around a bonfire. Like, we're not playing a game at that point. If you don't have the option, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want to. Really,
Right.
if you choose to waylay a story to be a jerk, and that's not what would have happened here.
It's to keep it less linear. It's to keep it less, this is what you're doing, guaranteed. No, you still have options.
Yeah,
You can still take that left turn.
and they wouldn't have held it again. I mean, they wanted you to stay put. I didn't think you would, but.
Right. Right. And it was just that little nugget of Sekhmet having an extra vote to sway the situation was Sekhmet going to say, no, they're coming?
I believe Sekhmet was against them coming. I feel like it was Sage that was standing up.
Sage and Sekhmet siding with the Cubs.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah.
You wrote it in there. I was about to say, wait, I remember him voting for us because everybody else was saying no, but his vote counted twice. He even stated that out loud.
I didn't read it. I just went off memory. That was
Yeah.
the mistake we gave Danny shit for.
And I remember
months
off
ago.
memory, though, that he did specifically state that out loud, that his vote counted twice. It didn't matter. They're coming.
Well, I think at that point it's they can come.
Yeah.
As opposed to we're making you. So if they were saying we're staying put, that'd have been the story. Is you'd have gotten drunk at the Razorback, and I think Sarah wouldn't have
Which
come
I think
home.
happened anyway.
Oh, you were going to kill Sarah.
Yep. I mean, there have been other casualties
Right,
too,
right.
but Sarah wouldn't have come home.
Bummer.
Not that you guys had any interaction through the rest of the story. I don't
No,
think.
I don't think so at all.
You're nowhere near each other in the battlefield.
No, but
However,
hearing that now, that sucks.
Well, yeah, and it's one of those, it's a butterfly flaps its wings. You
Exactly.
made a choice, and
repercussions.
yeah, and somebody doesn't come
Way to
home.
quote the butterfly effect.
Yeah, well.
So, but yeah, give them a few minutes to fuck around. Like that little part of the script. Because I'm pretty sure we did. And that's when we got drunk.
Down here. Sorry.
I was waiting for it. I know something funny's going on over there.
I don't know how funny it is to anyone but me.
Okay.
It's too late now.
Okay. Yeah, the timing's way gone.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Kelso. This butterfly effect is crazy.
Oh, jeez. That is funny.
Yes, yeah, I was quoted too.
Second show.
Hey, Foreman, isn't this nuts?
So
It's so fucking stupid.
at that point, obviously, we head back.
Yes. So, you show up and, like, there's more people there. You know.
It's a proper war party now.
Yeah. And, so you're getting there. You get back with Cagebreaker. Everything's, getting ready. And they lay out the plan.
Yep. Wahaya said, was it Wahaya? Said 2 dawns.
Yep.
Yeah.
So plenty of time to rest up.
Yeah, everyone is theoretically in tip-top condition. It gives time for the reinforcements to get to where they need to be.
Right.
And Butchers in the Shadows lays out the plan.
Okay.
The Rabies and Shades will take the Vanguard with the Sleight of Claw and the Frostbite at 10 and 2 respectively. Calm and the Howl, you're at 4 and 8, which needs the Bitches and Brews on the 6.
Nice.
Bringing in the rear.
I mean, that makes sense. At least it wasn't, you're up front, you're the fucking meat shields.
Again, who is? It's the Rabies and Shades.
Yes.
Because it's Butcher's plan.
Mm-hmm.
Right Masters in the center, keep it protected. If something this big is going to be like a massive beacon calling any nasty thing anywhere near us. This will be bloody.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even a foreshadow at that point. Like, look, this is going to be a problem.
Yep. And you see he mentions the Right Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Who's on that list, Danny?
Wahaya, Vodoma, Hannibal, and Ron.
Hannibal.
Well,
Trying to
and
remember.
Butchers.
Yes, but Hannibal Mende, another name that becomes more important later on.
Tom's just shaking his head right now.
Letting that go.
What? He was
I get it. Forgot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so did I until now.
Until I just read that right this second. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, boy.
And again, I'm not breaking your balls over it, but
I mean, this is 2 years ago.
exactly.
If not
But I'm showing there he was.
Yeah. Showing how much of a dick Porter is with his foreshadowing.
Right?
Well, even that's not foreshadowing. It's just the world's a living, breathing place.
Right.
Hey, yeah, you guys did a job together. There were a lot of fucking people there. You didn't have time to hold hands and fucking make out.
Whoa.
But you did a job together.
Gross. But no, I get it.
Yeah. So, positions are all ready. You mentioned from Whiplash about how they've contacted their pack totem and Boar's going to help.
That's neat. And not to be upstage.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then Jude's like, I'll do it too then. Fine.
I'm sure that's exactly the tone he used in everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's actual audio.
Not only that, but he doesn't use their pack totem. He uses his tribal totem.
Well, that is also their pack totem.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I forgot that part. But
Well, you probably never knew it.
I don't think we ever knew that.
no, you're probably right. No,
But I definitely made a point of Boar because I had that visual when I was writing this last part of, because, this last fight takes place in the Umbra, about an avatar of Boar there with them.
yeah.
Just tearing
Pumbaa.
up the Banes.
Not just regular old Pumbaa.
No, we're talking like Mononoke style.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like that big-ass boar spirit with those huge tusks just ripping through the battlefield, helping the Rabies and Chains out, because, Whiplash loves his boar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
This is a man who does regular blood sacrifices to the pack totem. You just know it.
Yep. I was just going to say that.
The ears didn't give it away.
Not at all.
Of course not.
And so, it kind of... What more is there to say? I mean, it's combat at that
Yeah,
point.
at that point
Yeah.
it is just combat.
Yeah, they go into the Umbra and...
Look, here's our plan. We've laid it down as basic and as simple as much as possible.
I had established a couple particular types of Banes that were just going to keep showing up,
Meat puppets, scrags. Trying to remember what else were there. I'm not even reading script. I'm trying to do it by memory now.
Well, there were scrags, because there's always scrags.
Bastards.
There's just scrags are there, and I made up a couple, which are brilliantly named, honestly.
And What'd you name them?
Slaughter Deer and Maggot Kids.
Brilliant.
They had to be called something. I needed something.
Yeah, it's something off the cusp, something quick and easy to just deal with.
Yeah, just look. This isn't going in a bestiary, motherfucker. This is.
I remember, if I can remember correctly, I remember you said 7 of them showed up. Like, okay, do a roll, and I was like, well, I got 6. I'm like, okay, you killed them.
Well, they weren't overly. Some of these weren't overly difficult. Those.
No, but you had them in.
Well, you had to paint a picture of when we're doing this. Just
Right.
every Bane in existence is getting pulled to this spot.
Right.
Yeah, they might not be a credible threat, but there were many of them.
Yes. And even then, if you looked at that last page, is just the stats on the enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Slaughter Deer is deer spirits corrupted, gone mad by Ral-Tik-Thaka's influence. And they've got the black muddy pool, the liquid shit coming out of their orifices, and their just teeth are all crazy and sharp, and they're just crazy.
Yeah.
They're just gonna charge you like an asshole. And then your maggot kids that resemble human children with the reverse joint legs, because I love shit that runs quadruped. In the tentacle, acting as a tail growing from the smalls of their backs.
Disgusting.
Oh boy.
And the skin's almost translucent, allowing you to see a pale green liquid flowing like a river just under the flesh.
Gross.
Their fingertips are hooked, serrated claws. Their head is more like that of an earthworm.
Ugh.
Gross.
Right? And that was the point, just to give you a strong visual.
Oh,
Gives a
very
shit
strong
what it's
visual.
called. You're going to fight 20 of them.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like do a roll, and 6, they're dead. Don't worry about it. But it was the numbers
Yes.
that made it more of the credible threat.
And then there were a few, massive tentacles from Ral-Tik-Thaka itself, and the, quote, standard spiral. That's what it says there. Not that I believe in a standard spiral. And I tried to
Is that just
not...
a spiral with no gifts?
Yeah, it was. This is like your first... you're not fighting real spirals. You're fighting baby shit spirals because...
First change spirals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's my second day.
Yeah.
The worms said to come here.
At least he made us play t-ball and not hardball.
Right. You had enough to deal with.
Oh yeah, there's a ton.
Yeah, that combat was nuts.
And
Well,
what happened?
And you have a little tidbit. The combat will last 7 turns. So something is going to happen after 7 turns.
Yes.
Well,
I
and
think Joey's got something first.
right at the beginning of combat, somebody goes down.
Was it the beginning?
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Right when combat starts.
Yeah.
Yes,
you hear
there it
that?
is.
We've got
After he
spirals
does
incoming.
after he does the whole explanation, he goes, there's a sound of a whippoorwill.
Whippoorwill, which is the totem of the spiral dancers.
Right.
Yeah, the other is I don't know how I set this page down. This is like the first time we actually need this page.
Yeah, this is the
You
big
said
one.
because you have several things here, and they're all separated. It says, and after each of the turns, one of these things will happen. So obviously, you put them in order.
Yeah, so countless tentacles are erupting from the ground.
Yeah, the Banes are swarming.
Jude screams out, "We've got spirals coming!"
I mean, I'm describing the right of the Garou are moving as one, and chanting and dancing around this particular right area, and gotta protect them. Don't let anything through.
And you've got, a scrag pile. Yikes.
Yikes is right.
Yeah. Again, I start with the vignettes for the mass combat. Yeah, it does start with dogs.
And then Cagebreaker says, keep your eyes open and don't wander off. Trust the others to do their jobs. We need to take care of ourselves.
An arrow pierces the Gnar's skull, sticking directly through the eye. He staggers and stumbles.
Take care of yourselves.
Cagebreaker drops to his knees. Without warning, a small pop is heard as your packmate's head explodes.
5 rage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Instant 5 rage to all hands.
That's good.
Yeah. No, see, what you heard there is exactly how it happened. The way Joey was reading it, that's how Porter read it on day of.
Well, probably with a little more urgency.
Yeah.
But
Okay, but still, it was.
But here, start a combat. Your packmate dies.
Yeah.
just arbitrarily.
Yep.
Yeah, just randomly.
Yeah, no blaze of glory, no big hero moment. Just shit happens in combat.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're a man down.
And it's just to make it more real to you.
Yep.
Yep. And then we gain 5 rage. Like, what the fuck?
Spend it wisely.
Yeah, I think that's...
Plenty of targets.
Yeah, we started doing multiple moves at that
Oh,
point.
yeah,
like,
we
all right,
started tearing into him.
No
Right.
line, no waiting.
right claw at that guy, left claw at that one, while I kick at that one, and then bite down on that one. Yeah,
Picturing that all at the same time. It's left with him just hopping on one foot. It was awkwardly.
Oh, and Danny had 2 arms.
Yes, he had 2 arms.
I had 2 at the time.
Yeah, he had 2 for a while.
I know. I just got to give him shit.
Of course.
You're not the only one. They'll keep coming up, I'm sure. But no, I didn't do them all simultaneously. I did them one after.
No, it just was a funny visual
Yeah, I know.
that you tried to do that simultaneously, and then I was just hopping around on one foot like an asshole.
How many can I get at one time?
I'm gonna get you.
So we lost the pack, mate. We were so
Oh my
happy. We were just like, yeah, cool, we got an extra pack mate. Never mind.
Not anymore.
Nope.
Nope.
He gone.
He's done in rings.
But what happened when we lost that pack mate, Tom?
But that won't be till after the battle.
Oh, was it? I thought it was immediately.
No, that's after the
That
battle.
was after. Yeah.
All right, forget I said that. We'll go back to it.
But we could say it. I mean,
We inherited his stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, well.
I mean, he specifically stated it. I
Yeah.
inherited one thing and Jess inherited the other.
Yeah.
Yep.
But still, he specifically stated it. Chapter
There's-
2 or chapter 3.
Yeah,
like,
he's-
I inherited this from somebody, and I expect this to be passed down again. So
Right. Like he said in giant capital letters, if ever I should die, it's totally cool to take my stuff.
pretty much.
This isn't foreshadowing, I promise.
It's crazy how much I don't care that people take my stuff when I'm dead.
Thanks, guy.
Right?
So we've got Jude Thunder Fury, who's got a vignette.
Yes.
But the vignette that I'm more interested in is Sekhmet and SYBS. At least the first part.
Okay.
You know, this is embarrassing.
You want to? Mm-hmm. This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you. Segment Rainmaker says through a grin. The Spiral, infuriated, takes a wide swathe. He easily ducks, stabbing his clave into the Spiral's armpit.
Ouch.
Shifting to Krynos, Segment moves behind his enemy, leading the Spiral with the clave stuck inside the worm wolf. With a mighty push, he frees the Spiral, which collides to a nearby maggot child, sending them both to the ground. Rainmaker dives to his fallen foes, running the clave through both of their heads. Which part grabbed you in particular?
I liked it. This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you.
Right?
Like, learn how to fight. Come back.
This is what you've got?
And then he gets both of them at the same time with that downward, yeah.
Just thunk, thunk. It's good.
I always enjoy the way he fights.
Segment, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's all of them because they use pack tactics to the fullest. Like, you know, they
All
have
Sage and his Kylindo, too, yeah.
well, and they have maneuvers that they use each other for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I just like how that pack fight.
Well, they taught us fastball special.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
No.
Yeah, they did.
Sage did, yes.
Sage did.
Did he?
Yep.
I thought that was
That
Dox and Dooley.
was in New Orleans.
No, I know. I
both.
thought that was Dox and Dooley.
They
They
both
were,
did.
they were
It was a combined
Sage-
effort between
yes.
the 3.
combined effort.
Okay.
Like, Dox and Dooley did something, and then they had to leave for a thing, and then Sage stepped in to teach us more.
Okay.
There was like 3 or 4 we learned, or 2. There was 3 we learned.
I feel like you never used any of them.
No.
I think fastball special is really the only one we've used on purpose.
Yeah, but that's the future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so. But then we have the end of the combat.
Yes.
Yeah, this is, I think you said 7 turns, so I think once we've all used our turns, and obviously we knew combat wasn't over yet, so it's not like we killed a bunch of the little things, but
Yeah, I mean, you're still
it's
protecting the right.
still, right.
Doing our job.
Yep. And I might have on the day cut it from 7.
Probably, it was
Because-
a long-ass story.
Because it was whenever, like I say 7 in the script, but if we're on the day and it's lagging at 5, I'm not going to string it to 7
Right,
arbitrarily for no good fucking reason.
Gotta have the timing right.
Right. 7 was just the number in my brain when I was doing it. There's not even 7 vignettes. So,
Yeah, I think it all at that point depended on what we were doing.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
just the flow.
Yeah, exactly the flow.
But so, yeah, once combats end, and it's what it's called in the script, one of the tentacles rises, slamming down and shattering the cage. which was the vessel to seal this bane in. Waya wails in despair as the vessel is destroyed. He looks around, scanning the battlefield. He sees his fellow Garou, students, friends, enemies, champions to the last. He motions to those performing the rite, gives a poignant nod, and approaches the great bane. His chants echo through the umbra. Ral-Tik-Thaka mita dotu nanawali morasu! A binding flash and a shockwave. As you pick yourselves up, you see naught but scorched earth where the bane once rested. Scorched earth and a skeleton. The elder Actina's bones are charred and brittle now, save for the skull, which is carved in runes and emanates the stink of the worm, a stench that is slowly dissipating.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah. So
That was it.
he sealed the bane inside his own skull.
Yes.
Did what he had to at that point.
Yep.
And, if I remember correctly, we talked about it when we did the moot, because Sekhmet did that story, or a quick version of that story.
Oh, you mean in Discord?
On Discord, yeah, sorry.
Yes.
I should have been a little more specific. But, like, that sacrifice he just made, the sacrifice of himself for the better of the rest of us. Not just his pack, not just the packs that are around us.
No, it was for the
but,
nation.
But the entire nation. And that stuck with me. It still sticks with me so hard. Phrasing. Sorry, I had to break it up a little bit. But it's such a big thing. Like, I can only imagine, I can only aspire to be that brave to be able to make that kind of sacrifice for the rest of the nation.
You'd lose Hunter.
It'd be an interesting day.
Yeah.
And of course, where that is where the script ends. That is not where the story ended.
No,
We had the
a lot to
epilogue with not a whole lot.
No, but I think we were so... I mean, at that point, yeah, that on the day, it was a long day, it was a long story, but, like, we weren't ready for it to end yet.
But, well, it wasn't over. The combat was over, but, from there, there was work to be done still.
Yes.
Some of the Thursians were performing a rite of cleansing around the area. Some of the more influential members of this war party gathered a bunch of spiral skulls, if you recall, carved glyphs into them as decoys.
Okay, yep, now I'm remembering.
There were 13 skulls at the end of the day, each distributed to be hidden away somewhere.
Taken by a different Thurge.
Yep.
Each one.
So no one knew who had the real skull or where it was.
Well, one person knew.
But certainly. Things don't always go that perfectly, but I mean, this was the intent because...
Gotta keep it hidden.
Gotta keep it hidden. Is it secret? Is it safe?
Mm-hmm.
That's the best they could do.
Way to quote Gandalf.
I know, right?
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, they put it in an envelope and handed it to Wise next to Cannon, so there you go.
Yep.
There you go. Don't ever put it on.
Aggressively no.
Skull, the fuck do I put it on?
Your
That's what I was thinking. I was like, how?
Yeah, as you make a sock puppet out of
Sock
it.
puppet. Yep.
Or just do Hamlet. I don't know.
Oh. Hey kids, don't play with banes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you get your hand as the jaw.
Yeah. But then, there was a pretty important moment there. Is, everyone was gathering up and people were going their separate ways.
Yep.
And at the end, it was just the rabies in chains, the calm, and
us.
the silent howl.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yep.
And that's when Dooley invited you guys to join the calm. It happened.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
I don't even remember that.
He did, but with like a big smirk on his face.
Oh, it was a joking invite.
Right, because the next line,
From Jude.
Jude and Dax were a couple feet behind him. Yeah, you're coming with us, right? He goes over to the van and Jude goes, he's fucking with you. You know that, right?
Because I was excited. Because that's the pack I wanted to
I think
go.
we all were excited.
Yeah, at that point, I had picked out who I wanted to, quote unquote, follow.
And this was the opportunity to do that. You guys the mission was done. Everyone was going home. Where are you going?
Right. And that's who
Where
I
are you
wanted
going to
to
choose
follow.
as home?
Yep. And you could have chose to find your own home, to go with nobody. I mean, you had every choice. It was up to you guys. Said, we're going to stay here and establish a sept. You would never have. You wouldn't have known to do that.
No.
Good luck.
Yeah.
But we also knew we still had some things to learn. So
Yes, you did.
who are we going with that's going to best teach us?
And now, you made the worst decision. If you were going for, we need to be trained and we need to learn about, you made the worst possible decision.
I didn't go for we needed to be trained. I went for what we already visited and how fun it was. That was the way I looked at it.
And I was about to ask, so.
Nope, that was the way I looked at it. I went,
So-
well, we've already been there, and that place seemed fun. I want to go there.
But so essentially we had two options. I mean, yes, we had a multitude of options, but our two options that you laid right in front of us were Rabies and Chains or the Silent Hell. I wanted Rabies and Chains.
Because he's got a thing with whiplash. We all know this.
It's not just that, but I think it was more the combat
It's
aspect
a
of
man
it.
crush.
Whiplash is awesome and you suck.
Yes.
He's got the biggest man crush for him.
He admires the guy. Whiplash is awesome. Anyway.
He's being an old mini whiplash.
And I think at that point is when we pretty much decided that I wasn't Fiona, I was more Get. That was around that area.
Around that area, yeah, but you were saying.
That's where I wanted to go. Except there's 3 people in the pack at the time.
It's true.
And I got majority ruled out. So we didn't go with the Rabies and Chains.
It's a time he just shows maximum fun.
Frag bash, man.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you certainly didn't get much of an education.
No. I mean, we did.
So you went to New Orleans.
Yeah,
We went to New Orleans. We went to the Razorback.
Yeah, and that's where that ended.
Yep.
You made your choice. The
And now
Rabies
you
Chains
didn't
went
think.
home.
Who'd you think we were going to go with?
Oh, I was sure you were going to go with the Rabies and Chains. You know, you had Tom who had kind of bonded with Bangarang.
Mm-hmm.
You, Danny, had kind of bonded with Whiplash.
I don't know about bonded, but yeah. I was trying to.
Yeah, you had
I was trying
Yes.
to bond with Whiplash, yes.
like, kick my ass in the woods, sir. I need to learn combat.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think I said that.
You did say
exactly. I was like, yeah, I need to be better at combat. Why don't you kick my ass and show me how to do that?
Okay,
I just
so
see teacher's pet.
the Cairn there is the Scratching Wolf.
Yes.
But there is one in New Orleans proper.
Yes, there is.
So which one did you guys end up at?
You'll find out on the next.
And there it is.
That leads into the next.
Okay.
The chronicle ends with them stepping into the moon bridge with the Sound Howl to begin their new life.
Gotcha.
To be continued
That's
in
where
The
it ended.
Guilty.
Holy shit.
Chronicle 2, The Guilty.
Your best work.
You know, yes, I think today the Guilty was my finest work.
And it was a joint effort between you two, you and Joey.
Well, you know, Joey was, spent years
Yeah.
as my assistant. I've bounced ideas off of her, and we've come up with stuff on the fly, and
Right.
I think her assistance in this one, though, being very vampire related, helped a lot.
I think you'd be surprised.
Right. But we'll talk about that
Yeah,
when we get there.
We'll get there. We'll start getting there next month.
Yeah.
I'm just extremely curious.
Yeah, we'll do that off camera. It's fine. We need a break between episodes anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
But that's the first chronicle. Final thoughts, guys.
This was so cool to see essentially the epilogue of our pack. I mean, because, it was call it the epilogue?
Prologue.
I was about to say.
I was like, our pack's
I was
done?
about to say, are we done? We're
that's
never
what I
playing
meant.
again?
Oh, no.
No, we got you.
My apologies. But yeah, you're right. It's essentially the prologue of the pack. Yeah, we each had our own prologues before our first change, at our first change, but like the pack itself, that's kind of like the prologue. And that's still to this day, there's so much in that, yeah, we mentioned, and it's just foreshadowed up until even The Guilty, up until our current chronicle, and then we had no fucking clue about it at the time. No clue.
Yeah, you guys didn't have a chance because he plays 4D chess.
And to be fair, we knew nothing about
Right,
werewolf.
right.
So
He plays
literally
4D
everything
chess
he
with
threw
14
out there,
chessboards.
he could have been playing 2G chess at this point because everything he threw out there we knew nothing about.
Right.
We didn't
Still
read any
learning.
books. We didn't. There was nothing. So he was just what he's throwing out there was going right over our heads at first, which I really enjoy looking back at now because I'm sitting here going, "Holy
Oh, yeah,
crap!"
hindsight's 20.
All of this stuff is amazing because honestly, I don't remember a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Ghost was so fresh into it. This was all just.
Yeah, this was
all just
long
kind
ago.
of beginning. I'm not playing my character like how I play my character now at all.
Right.
Ghost was just Ghost. There was no Ragabash about it. There was no Fiona about it. It was just, here's Garou.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like looking back at it going, I was so naive back then.
Well, I mean,
I think we all were.
it's something there. It's like I was never trying to outsmart you guys or right above you guys, but you see, I didn't pull any punches either. I didn't
I'm so glad you didn't.
I didn't give you baby's first werewolf story.
I'm very happy you didn't. And obviously, with the way you tell your stories, and hopefully with everybody listening, you guys realize that he writes fucking amazing. Granted, he's not reading his scripts word for you, and you're not playing with us, but just the pictures he paints and the way he runs it.
Well, and all the interactions are so nuanced.
Mm-hmm.
Very,
Very.
very nuanced.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're interacting with a computer, a game. You're interacting with a person.
Yeah, and it's one of those, like, I remember when we were writing this, and, you know, there was the whole scene at the Razorback, and I was excited that you guys were going to the Razorback and we're going to see all those interactions, and we talked about Roxy and Sekhmet, and you floated the Sarah-Ron connection, and I was like, oh shit, because again, in this reality, in this continuum, that's different. That's a change.
Yeah.
Can change compared to what you heard from the last one.
From every other version.
Yeah.
Every other, okay.
You know, Sarah Soft Howl.
Is dead in one of the versions.
Yep. She was never part of the Howl
No.
in most of the other versions.
Just,
Never.
Just a kinfolk
This
that
is
stays
the-
behind.
Oh, no. She's
Sarah.
a changer.
Sorry, Roxy.
Roxy.
Roxy's Roxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah was never a member of the Silent Howl
Yeah.
until this version.
Interesting.
And it just seemed so perfect.
It did.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
She does fit really well.
And I love how she has a huge crush on Ron. Just inexplicably.
Yeah.
But also, and I don't think it's ever mentioned, so I can just say it. Mm-hmm. How she cannot understand what Roxy sees in Sekhmet.
Right.
It's like Arrested Development, like George Michael's girlfriend Anne.
Okay.
You know, her? She just does not understand what the hell Roxy sees in Sekhmet at all. And I
like
think that's hilarious.
Him?
Yeah, just, what about him? Did you lose a bet?
Oh,
Right? But yeah, it's, you know, for me, it's that the importance of the characters. That's why, it's what keeps you in a story. That's why you watch your favorite show. That's why you keep watching it, even if the writing goes down a bit, because you've grown attached to the characters. You've embraced the world that it's set in,
Well said.
and that's what I try to do.
You know, 15 seasons of Supernatural.
Right.
You don't just
Right.
stop watching.
Yeah, and it's terrible for a good chunk of it.
Yeah. Like episodes or seasons like 6, 7 through like 12, maybe. But you've grown to love the characters, and you keep going. And you got some good ones peppered in.
Enough to keep you going.
Exactly. So to show those interactions and the character development right off the bat for us is huge, because as we continue on to discuss the rest of our story, you see how those only get stronger as far as the relationships.
No, absolutely. You know, and I
And
guess,
even the bonds between our own pack. You see that too.
although that's something I insist on. You know, I've had groups, that the Silent Hill's a great example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this was we played those characters for years. They never talked to each other. Mm. The fuck do you live together and not talk to each other?
how'd that work out? Wow.
I mean, I don't know if it's not as well as you guys.
Yeah.
Because you know
But,
each other and each
mean-
other's characters.
And Echo and Ghost can just, like, look at each other and just start laughing.
That was a weird connection right from the get. Like, I did not expect that either.
I
No,
didn't.
that was super
it's
weird.
The minute Echo came in and just her Ghost just instantly clicked, and
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, like with the with that original side and with most of the packs. Before I started making people interact, forcing you to, it was, well, yeah, we all live together and we're friends because we're friends and we live together.
Yeah.
Good job.
I've heard that before.
But you've never spoken.
Tell me 5 things about that person.
Exactly.
That's not in their
Ooh.
write-up.
Ooh, that's a neat thought experiment.
Oh, for pack people?
Yeah.
Tell me 5 things about that person that's not in their write-up.
That actually, that's
That is neat.
fucking great.
Yeah. Something for storytellers.
Congratulations, Tom.
Hey,
Yeah, no, I like that.
How's that 8-bit storytelling going?
I haven't written anything yet.
Got something now.
Oh, we'll be going back to it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But as
Finish out our current chronicle.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see.
But in the meantime, that was Into the Breach. Thank you for coming along with us on this journey. I'm going to speak on behalf of everybody here. I can't wait to start The Guilty.
Oh, we all
gonna be
can't wait to have
amazing.
that.
It's going to be amazing.
So we will see you right back here next month for The Guilty Part 1. Thanks a lot, everybody.
See you guys.